Latest developments now on the deadly school shooting out of Parkland, Florida. 17 people have been killed. 14 others have been hurt. A former student opened fire there in South Florida at the high school. Late last night, the governor of Florida ordered flags to be flown at half-staff to honor the victims. And of course, classes at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School are canceled for the rest of the week, maybe even beyond. The FBI, Homeland Security, and local investigators are all inside that school this morning. The coroner is with them. Students and adults are among those killed. One of the 14 people who are hurt is the son of one of the deputies who responded to the scene. The suspected shooter will be in court today. 19-year-old Nikolas Cruz is a former student at the high school who was expelled last year. A passerby shot this video. This was of the arrest yesterday. The suspect lying on the ground, surrendering to police officers. Investigators say that suspect pulled the fire alarm to draw kids out of the classrooms to increase the number of casualties. The school had already had a fire drill earlier in the day, and so some people thought this was a false alarm.
And the SWAT team, they bust open the window and they just all saved us. It was really intense.
One of the students inside Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School at the time has ties to Cincinnati. We spoke with his family in Florida about the moments following the shooter. Reporter Allie Kramer now joins us with that part of the story.
Chris and Catherine, Garrett Schreiber is a freshman at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. His father is a University of Cincinnati alum. Garrett began by telling us that that fire alarm went off that day, well, it was the second fire alarm, that is. He thought it was strange, and as soon as he realized it was an odd scenario, he heard that gunfire.
You just can't prepare for something like this. We did what we knew. We got into class, got as many people in as we could, about 60 kids. We all got behind a desk. Everyone was piled on top of each other, just trying to stay safe.
Garrett says that they could hear screams in the hallway, but they were frozen inside, unable to open the door in fear that the shooter was still outside. They were in that room with the teacher for about an hour and a half. The SWAT team eventually came and led them out of that classroom. In those terrifying moments, while he waited for safety, he was able to reach out to his parents, but for about 10 or 15 minutes, Dad Matt Schreiber waited in agony to know if his son was actually safe.
As a parent, it's kind of earth-shattering when you start learning about this. It was surreal. It was almost living out a nightmare that you would normally watch, or a horror show that you would normally watch on TV.
Well, Garrett says one of his friends was seriously injured and was in surgery last night. He told us that it is going to be incredibly difficult, understandably so, to return to school. He says when that time comes. Chris?
Allie, thank you. It's hard to wrap your head around what is now the 18th school shooting here in the United States just in 2018 alone. We'll stay on top of the story. We'll bring you the very latest developments. We'll do it on all of our platforms, Twitter, Facebook. You can go to our page there as you're heading out the door. George Stephanopoulos will co-anchor Good Morning America from Parkland, Florida, starting at 7 a.m.